This week is going to be an introduction to veterinary nursing and technology, and we will be taking a look at laws and ethics. So you'll notice at the beginning of each week, up top here, I will have due dates and any graded assignments listed for you. So you kind of have a brief little quick look. I encourage you to look at the class when it opens. So it does open on Saturdays to give students a couple, those who kind of want to get ahead. You have a couple extra days. It gives you a couple extra days to participate in discussion posts. So depending upon what your schedule is, it gives you a couple more days for that. But try and get in there at least on Monday, even if you just look over like this course, your other courses, get an idea of the workload that you have, what reading assignments are there, what kind of graded assignments are there. So again, I'll always have this at the top of each module. So you'll have the topic and then you'll have what graded assignments are there. So Thursday you have 2 discussions due, and then Sunday you have 1 assignment and 1 quiz due. So just a reminder that discussions will always be due by the end of Thursday. This is intentional so that students get in, start looking at the material, and don't leave everything until Sunday. Okay? It's also to get you to interact with your peers. So the expectation is that you do your initial post by the end of Thursday, and then you have until the end of Sunday to respond to at least 2 of your peers. Okay, I'll always have a little intro video like this, just kind of going over the week and any important reminders. So reading assignments, if we have a reading assignment in one of our required textbooks, it'll be listed up here. So we're going to start in McKernan's Clinical Textbook for Veterinary Technicians, Chapter 1. We're going to be working in here for the next 3+ weeks. Okay, so what I also try to do is just have supplemental reading materials here. So these kind of all go along with what the information that you're going to find in Chapter 1. So read over the Veterinary Technician Code of Ethics, Veterinary Technician's Oath. I've also provided there the program learning outcomes from our program. So kind of what we have to teach you and why you take the classes that you take and why we teach you the things that we teach you in them. All important things to know, the why of why are you doing this, right? So a lot of that information is there. If I have good infographics to share, I love infographics because it gives you a lot of information just kind of all condensed and easy to process, right? So what it takes to become a credentialed veterinary technician, we're going to be talking about that this week, but this gives you a little overview of what the process is and what it requires. Presentations, if it's an instructor presentation, I will post it just as the presentation itself. I usually include instructor notes with it, and then I will provide a presentation with voiceover on it. So this is part 1 and part 2, especially these first few chapters in McKernan's textbook. They're really dense material, so I try and break them down. So this one's about 20 minutes, this one is about 20 minutes, so you can kind of pace yourself and do it in chunks. There are 2 discussions this week, so all based on laws and ethics. So lots of different topics come up when we talk about veterinary medicine and laws and ethics, but certainly animals used in research is something that will come up, as well as euthanasia. Those might already be concerns or things on your radar that you have thoughts about yourself. So these are to start getting into discussions about some of those things. Share thoughts, ideas, and things with your peers. Euthanasia, we will take an entire week towards the end of the semester to discuss it in detail and lots of the different parts and pieces to it, the difficult parts of the job of being a veterinary technician. But this is just to kind of start the conversation before we get to week 12. Okay, there is one assignment, and it's in the form of a case study. So you will open this up. You will read a case study, there will be questions to answer, and you will submit that. And I have a key that will open up the day after the due date for you. You will find that on a weekly basis, I provide study resources. So this week there is a Quizlet and a Kahoot based on McKernan's Chapter 1. I've also dropped in there the Cornell note-taking system. So this is a really good time, and I kind of try and plant these things in your mind over the next few weeks. But do be thinking about time management, about your study skills, what you could improve, what you already do really well. Start thinking about those things. This is a very rigorous program. It goes by quickly. There's a lot to it. I have a lot of students as advisees and just my own students that come to me, and they say that they underestimated how much they needed to study, what they needed to put into it. I hear that over and over and over again. So kind of think about what already good study habits you have in place, what you might need to improve, and you might not find that out until you have your first exam in some of your classes. But be thinking of that. This program takes a lot. If you were a high school student who, just kind of breezed on through, got straight A's, and didn't have to study much, it is not going to be the case when you are in a professional program like this. So just be thinking of it, and I'll kind of remind you along the way to evaluate your study skills. Okay, quiz 1 is based on chapter 1. All quizzes in this class are untimed, and you have 1 attempt. When it comes to exams, they will have times on them, but we won't have our first exam until the midterm, so not to worry about that now. If you have any questions, reach out to me via email, and good luck in week 2.